What's going on, guys? Parker here, and I'm back with another video. And today I got my top 4 NBA Prize Picks player props for the day. And before we get in this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up and leaving a comment down below as well, because we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, guys. And each one of you subscribing, each one of you liking my video really supports this channel out a ton and helps push my content out to more and more people every single day, guys. So I really would appreciate that. As well, guys, we do have a free square for you guys to tell you about. Jason Tatum free square today for NBA Saturday. And when you use code FF23 on Sleeper, you'll get an 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. Most apps only, match your deposit up to $100. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $500, guys. So you want to take advantage of that. And you can use my code FF23 on Sleeper Fantasy. The link to that will be down below in the description, guys. But without further ado, let's get into talking for a minute. So only a 3-game NBA slate today. Not a huge slate, but I do like the slate. And we usually have had a lot of success in the past with these small slates. We usually have had the ability to have really good days when they are small slates. And I'm hoping that's going to be what today is. I think we have a really good shot to have a huge night tonight. And I think we definitely can sweep this little small slate. And without further ado, let's get right into today's plays. So first off, I got Jaylen Brunson over 27.5 points versus the Celtics. So Brunson's over this line in 7 of his last 11 games. He's under this line in all 3 matchups versus the Celtics this season. However, all 3 of these games were in November or earlier. And this was before Brunson went on his tear. This was when Brunson was averaging like 21, 22 points a game on the season, and not his 27 he's at now. Boston struggles versus high-usage guards. That's their defensive weakness. We know this team is an elite team, an elite defensive team, but Brunson is very good. Boston struggles versus very good high-usage guards, and that's a matchup that Brunson should be able to take advantage of. This line is simply too low for Brunson. Brunson's an excellent player. He's got an excellent matchup today that he should be able to dominate. And I think he does dominate. I think Brunson has a huge game. Also, this game will likely come down to the wire, which only benefits us more because Brunson, we know, big-time player. He makes big-time plays. And game down to the wire will lead to more shot opportunities and more shot attempts for Brunson. So Jaylen Brunson, over 27.5 points versus the Celtics is my first play of the day. Next up, I got Paolo Banchero, over 21.5 points versus the Pistons. So the Pistons allow the 4th most points per game in the NBA to power forwards this season. Pistons allow the 6th worst field goal percentage in the NBA to power forwards this season. Ideal matchup for Paolo. He should be able to dominate this matchup. This is an ideal matchup for Paolo Banchero, facing off against the worst team in the NBA, the worst defensive team in the NBA as well. Banchero, we know, is one of the best young players in the NBA, and this team struggles versus the power forward position, so Banchero should be able to feast in this matchup. And he's coming off a rough 12-point bad shooting game. I think this is a perfect spot for him to bounce back and have a huge night. Sorry, guys. So Paolo Banchero, over 21.5 points versus the Pistons is my second play of the day. Next up, I got Jaylen Brown, over 19.5 points versus the Knicks. So the Knicks allow the 10th most points per game in the NBA to small forwards this season. Brown is over this line in 10 of his last 13 games versus the Knicks. Brown got his confidence back in last game after a big-time game last game out versus the Bulls. He was struggling before that. He had a nice game versus the Bulls. I think he builds on that and has a nice game once again. And if they're going to keep putting Jaylen Brown at 19.5 points, I'm going to take it. It's just too low for a player of his caliber. Jaylen Brown is one of the best wing players in the NBA. He's an all-NBA talent, an all-NBA player. And 19.5 points is just disrespectful. It's just too low for Jaylen Brown. And I know he's been struggling as of late, but he's coming off a really good performance. I think that got him some momentum back. I think it got him, get him in the right headspace again. So Jaylen Brown, over 19.5 points versus the Knicks is my third play of the day. Next up, for my fourth and final play, I got Anthony Edwards, over 31.5 points plus assists versus the Nets. So Edwards is over this line in 4 of his last 5. Only game under, he had 31 points and assists. Nets allow the 10th most points per game in the NBA to shooting guards this season. He shot just 8 of 23 in his first matchup versus the Nets this season and went under. Edwards should soar over this line with a little bit more of an efficient performance. I think Edwards shoots the ball much better in the game tonight. I think he's much more efficient throughout the game. I think he'll get better looks in this game. And last game was just a slugfest in general. Score was 96-94 versus the Nets. Game was ugly. Game was really just a real ugly game throughout. And I don't think this game is going to be like that. I think Anthony Edwards is going to have the opportunity to have a really nice night tonight, a really much more efficient game tonight because we saw he had the volume in that first matchup. And the Timberwolves are coming off of a loss. Edwards is going to be motivated to go out there, perform well, and have a huge night. So Anthony Edwards over 31.5 points plus assists versus the Nets is my fourth and final play. So those were my top 4 NBA Prize Picks player props for the day. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video and you do want to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below. Give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment on this video down below because all 3 of those things really help me out a ton and help push my content out to more and more people at each and every single day. And then also make sure to hop on Sleeper Fantasy and take advantage of this Jason Tatum free square today. Free Jason Tatum square. You want to take advantage of that. And make sure to use code FF23 with the link down below in the description for an 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. Nobody is matching that deposit like Sleeper is. You want to take advantage of that because that's basically free money. You put $500 in, you get $500 back, vice versa. You put $250 in, you get $250 back. Definitely free money. Definitely going to help you, build a bankroll in your Sleeper account. And Sleeper has great value every single day, so make sure to sign up. And without further ado, guys, I will see you on the next one. Let's get a sweep.